Wait, I need to admit. Okay, so hi Ashley. Hey, so as you come in, you will see a poll question on your screen. So please answer them as we wait for others to come in. We'll just wait for a few minutes so that we could before we start the training. Um Hi everyone. Hello. Hi Brianna. Hi Camila. Hi Jason. Hi Vincent. Hello. Please turn on your cameras as because we always want to see your beautiful faces. This is not a workshop, so that's okay. But we recommend opening your cameras so that we could have like a fun engagement between us and you guys. So as you can see, there's a poll questions on your screen. Please do answer them as you jump in. Let's see. All right, Brianna, no problem.
No, this all.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome.
Hi,
So let's just
Guzan.
wait for one more minute for those who are just entering. Hi, Andrew. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
So for those who just came in, there is a poll question on your screen. Please do answer them, and we'll just discuss them um, really quickly later after our poll questions. All right.
I think we can start with.
Okay, we can start now. Let me end the poll. I'm sorry for those who didn't answer. Now share the results. So the first question here, as you can see, what's the most important quality of a leader? And I can see that most of you chose communication, which is an absolute yes. But I think most and all of these are great qualities of, a leader because of different, in different situation and different explanation and all those stuff. So I agree communication is very, very important. The second one is, what do you think is the biggest challenge a student leader face? And it's kind of a mix of answers, but it's more on speaking up in front of others. So I think in this training we will train you on how to speak in front of your classmates, because one of the things that student leader needs to do is to lead breakout rooms. So you will learn a lot from that. Then the third one is, what are you most excited about being a student leader? And there's in between answers of meeting new people, which is yes, we will meet and you will know more about your classmates, and gaining experience for the future. And as we said, leadership is one of the traits that you will learn from being a student leader, and that's one of the experience that you will gain, and we think that it will help you in the future. So thank you for that. And then the fourth one is, when shadowing someone, what do you think you'll learn the most from them? And then the most answer here is how to manage group discussions, which is very true because, as I said earlier, you will lead breakout rooms, which is a group discussions that we always do on our classes. So that's one of the things you will learn most in all of this. And then the fifth one is kind of a fun one. If you could have a superpower, which one you would pick? So a lot of you is reading minds, which is absolutely true. I want to read minds too. But for me, I think time travel is most important because I just want to see the future ahead of me. And I also want to see the past from my life, just for my experience. So thank you again, everyone, for joining the poll question. And before we start, hi again. Welcome to the student leader training for today. We're very excited to have you here. And to get us started, I will pass it to Kim to start off with our training. So let me share my screen here for Kim.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Joanna. And yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining the training today. We are really excited to welcome you as our student leaders for this year's semester. You have stepped up to inspire others, lead your peers, and bring positive energy to everything we do. So let's start off. May I know who here was a student leader last semester? Can you please give me a virtual hand, please? Can you please raise your virtual hand? Do we have a student leader here before? None? None? Can you raise your virtual hand? I see Jocelyn, right? Jocelyn, who else? Thank you, Jocelyn. Who else? None? Aside from Jocelyn? All right. Thank you, Jocelyn, for raising your hand. Okay, so let's start off. Number one, we will going to discuss about your roles and responsibilities and expectations as a student leader. For in this slide, workshop roles. Luis, can you read the description for the breakout room leadership, please?
Yes. Guide discussions in breakout rooms and ensure every student has a chance to contribute.
Oops.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Keep conversations meaningful and aligned with workshop objectives. Be prepared with workbook question files and breakout room questions, and be ready for any new questions that facilitators may introduce.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Luis. So, yes, in this workshop, you will mainly serve as a breakout room leader. Your job is to guide small group discussions, make sure everyone has a voice, and keep conversations meaningful and aligned with our goals. You will have access to the workbook questions and breakout room question files, but please be ready to adapt if facilitators throw in new questions. But don't worry, YC staff will be here to support you every step of your journey as a student leader. On our next slide, we have support and collaboration. Andrew, can you please read the whole description for that one, please?
Yeah. Assist fellow students by answering questions or clarifying workshop content. Model respect and inclusivity to foster trust and belonging. Show enthusiasm, kindness, and active participation. And create a welcoming space where everyone feels comfortable sharing.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Yes, another huge part is support and collaboration. Be that friendly face who helps clarify content, encourage participation, and bring good vibes. And please always communicate openly with facilitators or YC staff if your group needs support. Next slide, please. Next slide, we will see the event roles. So there are two roles, the workshop roles and the event roles. For this one, donor engagement, Heaven, would you be able to read the donor engagement description, please? Oh, you're out. I'm sorry. But
Okay, the engagement, participate respectfully and confidently in donor paired events. Share your story, connect meaningfully, and be prepared for possible interviews with your paired donor.
awesome. Thank you so much. So, beyond the workshops, student leaders also shine at events. So, number one, donor engagement. If you are paired with a donor, you will share your story, represent YC confidently, and also build genuine connections. We will share some tips, also guided questions for a starter conversation. For the field trips, be ready to lead when opportunities pop up, like stepping in as a speaker. That will be on the next slide, Johanna. Thank you. All right, yes. For the field trip leadership and engagement, please be ready to lead when opportunities pop up, like stepping in as a speaker, serving as a table lead, or keeping energy high with Kahoot games during bus ride to the event location. The Kahoot games, by the way, will be facilitated by our alumnus, by one of our alumnus or alumni. They will be facilitating the Kahoot games. Your job is to keep energy high. Your job is to encourage your fellow students to join or participate the Kahoot games. So keep this in mind. These roles can vary depending on the type of event. Some events might not need these responsibilities at all. No pressure. We will make sure you feel prepared and supported, including giving you starter questions you ask donors to help spark great conversations. So that's all for me. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to raise your virtual hands. Do you guys have any questions? Honor roles and responsibilities? None. Thank you. So I'm gonna pass it on to Johanna. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. So one of the areas that you also need to know about being a student leader is about preparation. So the first one is know the workbook and breakout room questions. So as Kim mentioned earlier, what we do usually is we send the alumni a document copy where all of the workbook questions from week 1 to the very last week, which is week 12, is already there, including the breakout room questions. So we will be also sending this document to you so that if you want to be ready on the next week's workbook questions and breakout room questions, you will be able to review them and be ready for your next class. The second one is ready to adapt and lead when new questions arise. So as Kim mentioned earlier, so if the facilitator wants to ask a specific student, which is alumni or a student leader, don't hesitate to share your thoughts on them. And then if you don't understand the question, don't worry. We always support you. Just ask the facilitator or the YC staff, what do you mean about the question? As you know, we studied that in our previous class about asking good questions. So we can incorporate that in asking if you don't know what the question is being asked to you. So the third one is be present at all scheduled Zoom meeting for preparation of the following, of all of the events like the field trip events, donor engagement, otherwise events, and any gathering related to your role. So all of this will be announced to you via email. So always check your email for this kind of announcements. So the next area is about engagement. So be present, attentive, and actively lead discussion during breakout rooms. So participate fully in the shadowing period for breakout room leads by shadowing an existing breakout room leader or staff or alumni to gain experience and insights. So next week, we will be having you shadowed by an alumni, a YC staff, or a breakout room leader so that you would know how to handle a specific breakout room session. So that will start next week from September 29th to October 3rd. So don't you won't do anything during this session. You will just listen and take notes on how the alumni um handles the breakout room with all of your members and stuff like that. And then you will officially become a breakout room leader starting on the week 6, which is on the week of October 6th. So starting that, we will have you lead a small group of your classmates in a breakout room session. Then the next one is commitment. So dedicate time to fulfilling your workshop and event roles consistently throughout the semester. So we want you to consistently be present during all of the workshop classes that we have and also all of the events that is coming in the future. The second one is be prepared for workshops. So donor engagement, events, and field trips, take initiative when opportunity need arise. So let's say, for example, on field trips, as Kim mentioned earlier, if the facilitator or alumni needs leader for a specific moment or anything that is related to that specific event, you will be the one taking initiative in handling those leadership roles. And then the third one will be reflect after each session or event and look for ways to improve your leadership facilitation and engagement skills. So let's say, for example, let's have a simple example. So for workshop classes, and for example, you led a breakout room session, and you felt that you didn't give your best in being a leader for a specific group. So you can always ask your peers, your classmates, or maybe an alumni, or maybe a YC staff. Maybe you can open up what you felt and ask them more about what can you do better for your next class so that you could handle more, better leadership on the next breakout room sessions. So that's kind of an idea for you in how you will reflect on each session or event and look for more ways to improve. So the next one is communication. So communication is very important to us. So if there is a time that you cannot attend a cohort class or an event, an important event that's coming up, you will need to let us know ahead of time. So you will be notifying us via our help form, which is in the chat box below, and let us know that you won't be able to attend the cohort class or the event, so that we will be notified and we will be able to make up for that specific session or event. So as you can see here, we have a little note here at the bottom said that add SL, or meaning of student leader, before your name when joining your workshops so that participants can recognize you as a student leader and for us to be able to group you to your breakout room. So I know you can notice that on your cohort classes, there are alumni that has an alumni on their before their name on their display name. So starting from next week, we want you to adapt this one and add SL before your display name. So let's just do a little activity right now and rename your display name to adding SL before your full name. So how do you do this? So you will see participants below. You can click that and then look for your name on the list of participants. And there's like a 3 dots or maybe a more button beside mute button. And click that and you will see the rename button in there. So I want you to rename yourself to add SL before your full name. Okay, I'm seeing Joanna. Thank you, Haley, Jason. Oh my God, it's so nice to see student leader names right now. It's so refreshing, not just alumni, but also SL. What a great one. So thank you for that. So starting next week, you will do this one. So you need to have SL before your display name, before your full name. So thank you for that. The next one is, what's in it for you for being a student leader of your class? So as a youth champion student leader, you will gain leadership experience, enhance your skills in communication, facilitation, and teamwork, and also networking and connections. So building relationships with peers, facilitators, guest speakers, and donors. So being a student leader isn't just about helping others in breakout room sessions or workshop classes or events. It's also about helping yourself grow. So you'll gain leadership skills and meet people who could inspire and support you in the future. It's a very exciting moment in your life because you won't know, you might be able to use this in the future. You might be meeting your future boss. We don't know. So I'm not saying we will be able to give you a job after this one. It's just that maybe the connections or the networking or the connections will help you a lot in the future. So the next one is we will have a breakout room exercise. So now let's put everything we learned into practice with this quick activity. So let's just imagine this is a real breakout room in a workshop. And the discussion question is on the screen, which is what are your takeaways for this session? What we meant by session is this student leader training. So let's say the facilitator wants us to just discuss one topic, and then this is the topic that you're seeing on the screen. We will all be students, including me and Kim, and we will ask one student who was a student leader before, which is, I believe, Jocelyn, to act as our student leader in this breakout session. So your role, Jocelyn, is to guide the discussion, make sure everyone gets a chance to share, and then wrap up the conversation. Now, since we are a lot in this one, we are, I think, 28 right now in this session. Jocelyn, you will just need to call on like 3 to 4 students to share their own thoughts on the question on your screen right now. But in a real breakout room session during your class, you have to make sure that all of their members needs to share their thoughts and insights about the topic. So let's say, for example, the facilitator wants us to discuss and run the breakout room session in 5 minutes. So you have to make sure that you will use the time wisely, and within 5 minutes, we have to make sure that all of the students or all of the members in our breakout room already shared their thoughts. So I will, since we're not on a breakout room right now, I will just set up a timer right here, right now, and make this as our breakout room timer. So Jocelyn, are you ready to be our student leader? I'm so sorry to put you on spot because since you have already the experience, I think it's best for you to lead the session right now for all of your peers in here that is in the training to learn a lot from you and how you handle breakout room sessions before. So, Jocelyn, I will start the timer and you can start your session now.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Jocelyn Villalobos. I will be your student leader for today. I will be starting off with asking the question, what are your takeaways for this session? If we want, I could begin and then I could let you guys share. So for my first takeaway throughout this whole session was learning about how your leadership skills are a great component and to be able to lead a breakout room, to have all the students engage into a conversation, to be able to have an effective overall environment with everyone within the breakout room. I don't know who else wants to begin, or I could call on somebody to popcorn.
I would like to share.
You could go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I would say one takeaway to be from this session is to be always prepared and going into every session and to like bring the like your energy so everyone feels like it's a safe environment.
Yes, I agree. Being like having a great environment with every student is something important because it will just, like you said, you need to bring the energy up to encourage other people to eventually participate. Ashley, you could go next.
My main takeaway from this session is like create a welcoming environment for everyone else and taking initiative.
Yes, I would say taking initiative is something very important as it is not easy for everybody. Because then again, some people could be more shy than others, which also ties with what like the energy in the room. Roberto could go next.
What I want to take away from the session is just learn how to start conversations more easily. Because sometimes, like, I'm a very confident person, but like I just lose, like, I don't have the specific things to say, or like I feel like the conversation's dying out, and like I just don't know what to say. So I just want to like improve on that.
Yeah, it could be very difficult because you get embarrassed in the moment, but then again, it will get easier with more practice. Vincent, you could go next.
My main takeaway from this is that we as student leaders are supposed to, like on field trips, interact with people like donors to show them what Youth Champions is about and make a good impact on them.
Yes, I would say this would really tie with one of the field trips we might have, like that has to do with networking, because you could create relationships with those people with that can help you in the future, depending what career you take. Elias, you could go next.
I think one of my main takeaways about this session is definitely just being able to like meet new people, especially since sometimes like you don't know many of these people. Like they're coming from other schools, and just making them like feel welcomed and valued is just something meaningful that I think I learned how to do this during the session.
That's actually really great because then you can make new friends and you see them in the field trips and the environment is just really fun. Haley, you could go next.
I think one of my key takeaways from this session was the importance of communication. I think we're constantly going to be interacting with different people and not just communicating with them face to face, but also being transparent with like what will, if we won't be able to attend a session, like being able to communicate with the YC staff is really important.
Yes, I would say that too, because then again, like, what if we don't have a student leader and it's like the staff have to organize and everything? Stephanie, you could go next.
I would say one of my main takeaways is recognizing the different types of leadership styles that there may be from learning of other student leaders or alumni that are there, understanding the importance of actively listening to the people that are in your breakout room, and then learning strategies in order for us to encourage those students to participate in those breakout rooms.
Yes, I would say the same thing because then again, maybe some students aren't paying attention and they're like, wait, what are you guys talking about? Or it's like other issues going on around. Luis, you could go next.
My main takeaway of this session is that, in order to be a good leader, you need some skills like communication and confidence, and that being a student leader for Youth Champions can help you develop those skills for the future.
Yes, I agree. I would say it has helped me too, like leading all of this and eventually throughout the 2 semesters I did the program, I would say it has helped me like be able to do public speaking a little bit more easier than I used to do before. Heaven, you could go next. Oops, I believe she put her hand down. But Alejandra, you could go next.
My main takeaway from this was be more open to other people's opinions. Even as a student leader, you're probably going to hear a lot of different things as you're starting sessions, and you need to just be open to new ideas and trying to kind of adapt to different ways of thinking and trying to like help like elaborate and talk with students if they feel like they're stuck.
Yeah, I would say it is pretty difficult sometimes. Like if you don't know what to say on the spot, you're like, oh wait, what can I like add on to what the student is saying to like make them engage into the conversation and like eventually for it to sound natural in a way. Um, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, but Griselle, you could go next.
My main takeaway was how responsible you have to be as a student leader. It's not for everyone, and you have to be a committed person with good attendance.
Yeah, so it kind of ties to like what they said earlier, like making sure you communicate with the staff that you won't be here is something critical as, it could affect maybe like your reputation later on if like you continuously keep missing the meetings and then it's like maybe they maybe like take away your chance of being a student leader, I guess. But yes. overall, everyone did really good. I believe everybody had great takeaways from the session, and it's something great.
All right. This is a great exercise. Thank you, Jocelyn, for leading this group. And also to everyone who shared their insights. I love all your takeaways. And it's, oh my God. I didn't expect this one to be like this. So, this is exactly what we were talking about earlier. This is what it feels like to be if you're leading a breakout room and if you're a participant. So for Jocelyn, can I ask you one question real quick? So what did you notice about this experience?
So I think for me, like overall, everybody did great, like participating. But on my end, it would probably be like what I said earlier, like trying to keep the conversation going, like elaborating on what everybody was saying. So I feel like that's maybe something some people might like. It might not come naturally to them while like leading the breakout rooms.
I agree. So I think I completely agree with you. It will take a lot of time for them to be able to be comfortable in having the conversation going. So this is what it is to have a training for you student leaders so that we will be able to guide you on how you will be able to lead breakout room sessions. So for everyone who is a student or the participants in this exercise, what did you notice on Jocelyn's leadership on how she lead the breakout room session? What did you notice? Yes, hold on. I can't see the participants. Yes, Grisel.
Oh, sorry, I had my hand up from the other previous.
Okay. So let's see here. How about you, Ashley?
I noticed that after like every person answered, she would like either add a comment or like just elaborate on it. And I feel like she was also very like welcoming and like just like she created like a welcoming like environment for everybody else to participate.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's absolutely correct. So as you notice, Jocelyn has comments on each answer because she wants to continue the conversation. Like she wants the conversation going, and that's her style on having, showing how she listens very carefully on all your answers up until to how she continues the conversation. So, and then if she want, you can also popcorn style it so that everyone can throw on their thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you, Ashley. How about you, Vincent?
Yeah, one thing I noticed about her leadership was that she led by example, and she volunteered to be the first one to give her intake on the question. And I feel like that really made it a lot more welcoming for us to give our answers as well.
Yes, thank you, Vincent. So one of the things that we told you earlier is to be ready for all of the questions that will be thrown away to you. Because as a leader, you need to understand what the question is so that you could set an example for your group mates so that they would know how to throw in their thoughts. So thank you, Vincent. That's a great point. I see here in the chat Ayla said, I noticed that she connected people's comments to each other. Very true. And then Heaven, she also makes sure we got the understanding. Yes. As I said earlier, you need to make sure that you understand the question so that you could explain it to your members on how to answer them. Okay, I will ask one more person and then we will wrap this up. I want to ask Stephanie.
So I think our classmate Jocelyn was a very effective communicator. Not only that, but the way that she spoke felt like very warm. I don't know how to like explain it, but it was like such
I
a
know.
nice greeting in the way that she started the conversation. And I like that she volunteered herself first, like another classmate said. I'm so sorry, I forgot who it was. But like another classmate said, I like that she volunteered to answer the question first and then commented on what others said and connected with what they responded with. That was a very good conversation.
Yes, thank you, Stephanie. That's a great comment right there. And one of the things that I also want to point out is that the when she began leading the breakout session, she introduces herself. So make sure to introduce yourself first, because it's not always the same people you're with in the breakout room sessions. It's random. So we might say the other classmates that doesn't know you as a student leader yet. So always make sure to introduce yourself and let them know that you're a student leader and you are here to help them, engage in the communication when it comes to breakout sessions. So thank you for that. Thank you everyone so much for participating in our exercise for today. And I will pass it along to Kim for final announcements and wrapping things up.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for that exercise, Joanna, and thank you so much, Jocelyn, for leading the exercise. Johanna, do you think they need shadowing? Honestly, I don't think so. These guys are all great.
I agree. I agree.
Thank you, everyone. And as we close this training, again, thank you so much for joining this training. And I'm so glad to see everyone participating so much. And I can't really wait to see you guys grow as a student leader. And oh, thank you for that emojis. And at the end of this training, you'll receive a commitment form to fill out. We will be sending it to your email. Probably next week, Monday. So keep an eye on your inbox. This will be your first step in officially stepping into your student leader journey. For those who has any questions and concerns, you may actually stay in the Zoom, or you may also send a ticket to our help form. I think that's all for now. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night and happy
Thank
weekend.
you. We'll see you
Bye.
next week.
See you next week. Bye.